Rockin' Country Radio, today's hottest country and more. Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Rockin' Country Radio. I'm your host, DJ Delta Donna, welcoming you all in this evening. And it is Monday, but it is a great Monday as far as I'm concerned because our guest tonight I have been stoked about since we booked him a few weeks back because he is just so immensely talented, and he is definitely one that is a rising star here in the States, but has really made a name for himself in Canada. So I want to welcome, before we bring him on, I want to welcome everyone to our show. If you're a brand new listener tonight, welcome aboard. We're glad to have you here and certainly appreciate it so much. So before I introduce our guest, I want to give you a little background on who he is. In case you're a first-time listener, you don't know who he is, you will know before we end our show this evening. He is a Canadian country music sensation, and that is an understatement, I must tell you. He has been nominated and won dozens of awards for his art, from the Saskatchewan Country Music Awards to the Canadian Country Music Awards. He has played concerts with Florida Georgia Line, Joe Nichols, and Big and Rich, and he even began a tour with fellow artist Stephen McGuire called Imagine No Bullying. His latest album is All Kinds of Crazy, and we are so very proud to welcome to our show tonight Codie Prevost. Hello, Codie.
Hey, Dawn. How are you tonight? Thank you so much for having me on the show.
Well, I'm wonderful, and thank you for being here. I know I follow you faithfully on social media, and I know you've been very busy of late, playing a lot of shows, and just busy in general promoting the latest album. And so thank you for giving us some of your time. It is an honor.
Oh, it's so great to be here tonight. It's been such an incredible summer so far, and so thankful for that. Over the past few weeks, we've had a lot of rain and a lot of flooding here in Saskatchewan. So this past weekend, we were doing a fundraising concert called Flood Relief up in a city called Yorkton, and it was just an amazing event. And they ended up in the end, we raised $30,000, and it was just an incredible weekend.
Oh, wow. I mean, that's a great way to turn, what could potentially be a very bad situation around for good. And I can't think of a better way than celebrating, trying to do that with a concert and having you there. So
it was just incredible. The support, the first night sold out in about an hour, and there was 10 artists involved in the show, and just an awesome lineup. It was so great to be a part of such a great event. And it's so amazing here in Saskatchewan to see in a time of need, the people really come together, and it's just incredible to see.
Yeah, and that's something that has always amazed me when you have, I know here in the States when we have floods or we have things that happen of that magnitude, it really is kind of, refreshing to see the community come together and pull together when in other times they may not, and to just do that for the greater good. And it's such a great thing. And so I'm so happy for you that it went well and you raised $30,000. I mean, that's tremendous. So congratulations there to you and all the artists who performed on that.
Well, thank you very much, Dawn.
Well, I have to tell you right out of the gate that I just want to congratulate you because your recent success with your latest album, All Kinds of Crazy, is just, people are crazy, literally all kinds of crazy about it, and it's a great album. I mean, it very well understood. So, gosh, as a result.
It's it's such an incredible thing. You put you write songs, you get into music, and you never know what's going to happen. You just kind of throw yourself into it, and you hope for the best. You make a plan, and that's basically what happened. I grew up in a small town in Saskatchewan, town about 300 people, and when I was first starting out, I remember watching my mom and my uncle play guitar at family reunions and around the campfire, and that's originally why I got into music, just because I seen the joy that my mom and my uncle could bring to people with just a guitar and a voice. And I thought, if I can do that one day with my life, that's what I'd love to do. And one thing led to another. And, now looking back, it's, 9 years later, and I'm on my fourth album, and it's called All Kinds of Crazy. And, that's just the whole title makes perfect sense. It's just all kinds of crazy where it's come to. And what's been going on in life, and it's a true blessing to be able to do music and make a go at this. And I'm so thankful for all my fans supporting me and getting this and making this journey happen.
Yeah, you do indeed have tons of fans. I mean, my Twitter feed personally for the show has been blowing up all day today, as we've been tweeting out about the show, especially over the last several days as we've been promoting it. And oh my gosh, your fans are loyal, no doubt. They are retweeting it and been responding, and it's just great to see.
They're incredible. Every Tuesday for the last couple of years, we've actually been doing what's called a Tuesday night Twitter party. So basically, I'll log into Twitter, tchat.io. It's a different site that you use your Twitter login, the same login, and basically you just hashtag Codie Prevost, and then we all log in there every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern, and we chat for an hour. And it's been over the past couple of years to see that grow, the amount that it did. And we have people from all over the world stopping in. And what's cool about it is, it's not just music we talk about in there. It's everybody's week, how it's been. We really get to know people, and it's been awesome. It's almost feels like a big family now after 2 years.
And kudos to you, because I know a lot of artists, as busy as you guys stay, it's hard to carve out a given time each week to spend with your fans on that level, and fans eat it up. I mean, this is really what makes it, I think, for them, because social media now gives artists and fans that ability to interact like never before. And so for you to be able to do that, and you say, okay, Tuesdays at 9, this is what's gonna happen, I think that's just awesome for you and for your fans.
Well, I guess we're fortunate to see where we've come to these days, and being able to have mobile devices to be able to make it still happen while you're on the road, while you're out on tour from a hotel room, wherever in the world you are, you can still find a way to be able to make that happen. And it's just, I'm so blessed to have that support and have, from the fans. And I love logging in every Tuesday night. It's one of my favorite things, and I look forward to it every week.
Would you say that that's kind of one of your ways that you kind of just de-stress and just, because it's so different from being on the road playing, obviously, but just kind of your way to kind of relax and kick back?
For sure. And what's cool about it is, like I said earlier, it's not just about music. You log in and you get to know, really know your fans. You get to know what they're doing, where they're from, what their interests are, and that's the coolest thing about it, is you get to know everybody, and it's not just a name anymore. You know what they look like, and you really get to know the people, and for me that's an incredible thing.
How often do you, after having this interaction on social media with your fans, how often do you have fans come up to you after show and say, hey, I'm so-and-so, and they give you the Twitter handle, and they say, I'm so-and-so from Twitter, Does that happen all the time? No,
that happens more and more, actually, and it's, and then right away you recognize them, and it's such a cool moment, because you've chatted for the last year with them, and to finally get that moment when you get to meet, it's so cool, and there's nothing like it. Like, I know we're going down in August, we're going to be going down to Kansas, and there's a gal named Michelle on the Twitter party, and she's part of how we got able to go down to Kansas for the show, and we're going to get a chance to meet her. And so, to have that experience, it's definitely something I'm looking forward to, and getting to meet her in person, and just getting to know her.
It sounds like it's going to be as exciting for you as it will be for her, I know. And that,
for sure.
I love the beauty of social media, what it has been able to allow artists and music to do in general. But this is just another facet of it that has just kind of come full circle since it started, and I love that. Now, I kind of want to go back a little bit, because as I understand it, you picked up the guitar when you were 14, and you kind of started writing songs at that time, and you really haven't slowed down since. But did you ever envision that you would one day be one of the biggest names in Canadian country music and gaining a huge following here in the U.S.?
You get into music. Basically, like I said a little earlier, I got into music because I watched my mom and my uncle and the smiles they could bring to people's faces. And I thought, if that's something I could do with my life one day, that's what I want to do. And basically then when I was 14, I snuck upstairs. I took my mom's guitar down to my bedroom. And every day after school, I'd sit in my room, and I eventually taught myself to play the guitar. And from there, the next challenge was learning how to sing and play guitar at the same time. And I tackled that, and then all of a sudden when I was about probably 16 years old, and I started writing my first songs. And it was actually when I graduated from high school that I went to college for a year. And through that year of college, my dad called me one week and said that there was a talent contest happening near where I had grown up in a surrounding community. So I went home and I entered the talent contest. And after the talent contest, I was approached by a man who asked me if I'd be interested in coming to another town and recording with him, because he was working at a recording studio. And I, jumped at the opportunity. A week later, I was in the small town, and we were recording together, and his name was Al LeBlanc. And so me and Al started working together, and it was just an awesome relationship. We'd write songs, we'd record songs, and it just kept going on for a couple months. And after about 2 months of that, I decided that I wanted to get out and play some shows. I hadn't done too much performing yet, and one day over lunch I asked Al if he'd be interested in booking me some shows, and he said yes. And lo and behold, a couple weeks later, he said, well, you know what, I'll give you a month to learn 30 songs, and then I'll book you shows. And 2 weeks later, I get the call, and he had booked me a show 2 weeks later. But you know what, that's the best part of, when you jump into something, you never know where it's going to lead you. So you just got to take that leap of faith and go for it. And so there I was. I played every weekend. I was playing shows for $100 a night with just me and my guitar. And I did this for a couple of years. And then, what really changed it all was when I wanted to go down to Nashville and record my first CD. I had met a couple people who were willing and interested in working with me in Nashville. And the only thing, though, I was about 20 years old at the time, and I, obviously didn't have enough money to be able to go down there and record. So what I did is I went into a bunch of different banks, and I was, trying to get some funding and maybe a loan, and just had no luck at all. I was, kept running into the roadblock and the roadblock again. It was just too risky for a bank to invest in a musician. And so what I did is Al and I got together, and we put together a 5-year business plan. And I went in to see a group called Community Futures, and I sat down with them, and they were really, impressed with the business plan, and they invited me and Al back a week later, and they told me to bring my guitar in. So I brought my guitar in, and it was the annual board meeting, played them some songs. A week later, I got a phone call, and they said I was approved for the small business loan. And from there, I went down to Nashville, and I, started my recording career. And then I came home, and I was done the album, and I started releasing songs to radio. But with part of putting that business plan together, on that business plan, I had to, set goals and write them down and have them on a paper and, make a clear vision of what I wanted to achieve with my music in the next 5 years. And we had things like open for bands, be nominated for awards, be on tour, shoot music videos. And, at the time it seemed so far-fetched to be writing this stuff down and setting these goals. And lo and behold, after that album, things started, doors started opening, and one thing led to another, and, things just really started happening after I put that plan in place.
Well, and it's one thing to have a dream and know in your heart this is what you want to do, but to be able to see it on paper kind of really brings it to life, wouldn't you say?
It does, and, it really keeps you focused on where you want to go. Before, if you don't write things down and, have a solid plan and a vision, it's going to be pretty tough to where you want to get to without, getting disheartened. You got to, you really got to take little steps, and one thing leads to the next, and then all of a sudden, before you know it, you're opening for a band, and then that leads to something else, and then you're recording another album, and, that's kind of how the progression happened for me, and it was just incredible, and, to be able to take little steps like that really enabled me as an artist to learn the industry and learn the ropes of the music business as well, at the same time making those little steps.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And those little steps have turned into big leaps, and they just keep getting bigger, no doubt. Now, and I have to say, your current album, All Kinds of Crazy, which is, as you said, is your 4th studio album. And what makes this album different from your previous projects?
I feel it's a step. It's an kind of an evolution in my life. Like I feel I've evolved as an artist over the past 8 years. Like with the first album, I went in the studio and I was in Nashville, and I really had never been in a recording studio before besides my earlier, dabbling in the studio with working with Al. And when you do your first trip to Nashville and you're recording in the studio, it's just a really eye-opening experience to see those musicians. I sat down in the room with them, and they played the song, and they all had a chart, and then we went in and we listened to the song once, and then we all went into our positions in the studio, played the song through, and I remember how awesome it sounded through the earphones, and I just couldn't believe that was one of my songs coming to life. And there's nothing that can explain that moment in an artist's life as than hearing their songs for the first time. And so after that, things kept progressing. But the new album, I worked in Canada on this one with Tom McKillop, and throughout the last 3 albums, I've just got so much more experience. And so when it came time to recording this album, I just I felt so much more a part of it just because of all that experience that I had in the studio in the last 3. And with every album, I got more and more involved in the project, and just as far as parts and talking to musicians and just having that experience to be able to put your stamp on the record. And I feel with this one, it just it really came through, and it's definitely crazy. If you get a chance to see the album artwork, we wanted to do something a little bit different, and we went to the circus, and the circus allowed us to shoot for 1 hour prior to the circus happening, and it was incredible. I've never experienced that before. We got to work with the elephants, so I was getting ready for the front cover shot, and I didn't even know there was going to be elephants there that day. And all of a sudden, I felt something a little bit uncomfortable, and I was kind of curious as to why I felt this way. And I looked behind me, and there's 2 giant elephants come walking up. And my God, just words can't explain that moment in your life when you're standing there between 2 giant elephants. But you know what? I would never take back that moment, because that was just awesome. And if you get a chance, check out the album cover, because that's the cover of the album.
Well, in fact, we have featured the photo of the cover album on our website with all the info about the interview for tonight. And I have to tell you, I was going to ask you about that because, it's not every day you see an album cover with, the artist and then there's elephants behind. And you definitely knew it was real. And I was like, how in the world did he pull that off? And that is so cool that they let you film, Of course, it was such I'm sure, a small window of time, but how cool to be able to get that. And further, that the elephants were very accommodating, apparently.
For sure. And it all came together so fast. Like Hal, we kind of got together. Hal Schrank is my drummer as well. He does graphic design, and he said, what about a circus? And I thought, that's a really cool idea, but we're in Saskatchewan, and it's not every day there's a circus coming through. But lo and behold, he got on the computer and he shot out a few emails, and here the Tarzan Zerbini Circus was coming through Saskatoon like in a couple days.
Oh,
and
wow.
So Hal went. He didn't know if it would work or not, but he went down there and met all the staff and all the people from the Tarzan Zerbini Circus, and they loved the idea. So they gave us 1 hour, like I said before. But Hal basically called me one night and said, "You ready to do a photo shoot tomorrow?" And I said, "Sure. What do you got in mind?" And he said, "Well, the circus is through town," and it was so exciting. And he's like, "Just show up at my house at 7 a.m." I showed up. We had wardrobe there and the hair and the makeup, and it just really came together. And it's amazing when stuff like that happens.
Oh, definitely. And, well, congratulations, because like I said, that is not a small feat. And just looking at that album, I mean, I love that album cover because, for one thing, it's very colorful, but it kind of really does encompass the, when you think about it, it's not every day you see someone, be it an artist or otherwise, sitting in front of elephants at a circus posing for a photo. And it kind of really went along with the title of the album, All Kinds of Crazy. So, and speaking of that, I mean, do you have a particular favorite song on this project, and what is your favorite to perform?
You know, we've been performing quite a few of the songs here at the live show over the last little bit, and one of my favorite songs to perform is one off the album called Someday. And Someday was a song I wrote when I was down in Nashville. I booked a writing session with my good friend Adam Wheeler, and we were writing at his house this particular day. And we had written a song in the morning and then went for lunch and came back to his place. And it's not very often that I am able to write two songs in one day, but sitting with Adam that day, I started strumming this melody, and he asked what the idea was, and I said, well, it's an idea I've had for a while, and a few words started coming out, and lo and behold, about an hour after that, Someday was there on paper, and it's just one of those things that came together and happened as well, and just so natural. And it was really at the time a song about finding hope, and we released that as a single to country radio here in Canada, and we knew that we wanted to do a music video for it, and the idea was to base it around domestic violence and create awareness about that problem. And so we filmed the video here in Saskatoon, and we released it to YouTube. And over the past about 6 months or so, it's had over 250,000 views. And just when you're a songwriter and you write a song, you never know where it's going to go. You never know who it's going to affect. And so to see it take off like that was, and there's messages coming in, emails about people who have went through tough times in their life and dealt with violence and domestic violence, and it's just you don't even know it's that big of a problem until you do something like that and you see how many people are affected by it. That's that really as a songwriter, that's for me, that's what it's all about, connecting with people, and it's incredible to see.
Well, and on that note, I think I had tweeted you, it's been several weeks back now, and just telling you how much I absolutely love that song. And the first time I heard it, I just connected. And this was before I saw the video. So, for me, the song was, you could tell it was just such a message of hope. And even if it's, whether it's about domestic violence or about anything that someone needs hope for in their lives, this song is a great anthem for that. And then I saw the video, and it was so powerful and so moving. I mean, I was literally in tears the first time I saw it, because it kind of all connected, the song, the video, and given, your involvement with, the Imagine No Bullying tour and your stand on that, and then having this project, to take a stand in some other direction, which is related in a way.
Yeah.
It was just great. And I hope this song, I am really pushing Sirius XM's The Highway here in the States to pick that song up and start playing it as they're on the horizon, and then get it into rotation, because this is a song, this is a huge problem here in the U.S. as well. And, this is a song that definitely people can identify with, and country music in general, it's very much that way. But when you have a song that really has such a strong message and theme, it resonates with way more people than you could ever imagine.
Well, thank you, Dawn, and exactly. That's you don't know what to expect as a songwriter. You write, like I said, you write the song, and you just don't know where it's going to lead, and you don't know who it's going to connect with, and who it's going to introduce you to, and it's like words can't explain how incredible it's been to have that song, and it really has changed my life in creating that awareness about domestic violence. I've seen people go through that in my life. I've never experienced it, but I've had close friends who have went through things, and it's just it basically is a song about finding hope in any way, and knowing that things are gonna get better, and life just sometimes it throws you a curveball, but you got to stay strong.
Yeah, that is so true, and so very important to remember in those times when we are being thrown the curveballs, for sure. Now, you've just released the video to All Kinds of Crazy, and I have to tell you, that is such a departure from Someday, of course. But the first time I saw this video, Codie, I was literally almost falling out of my chair laughing. It was so hilarious. And I just have to ask you, how many takes did it take for this video to be shot, because I don't know how you got through it without keeping, yourself together to sing the song and perform. It's crazy.
Oh, it was so much fun to be able to be on this shoot. We've never done anything like this, and when I got together with the video director, I met him at his house, and he said, what about Bigfoot? And I kind of just shrugged it off. I'm like, well, I'm sure you must be joking. And then I was getting ready to leave his house, and I turned back to him, and I was like, you know what? Maybe that's not a bad idea. Like, maybe that's a pretty good idea. And so it was a week later, I was online, and I was, calling people about costumes and, trying to get them ordered. And I finally found some, and I ordered 3 costumes, and they got here. And it really, it came together in a couple of weeks. The costumes showed up, and then I got them the wardrobe. They had to cut the faces out of the costumes so we could make so the makeup girl could paint the faces on, so they would all kind of look like each other still.
Yeah.
And I tell you, when I showed up and I seen the band getting their makeup done, it was tough to hold it together. Like, just seeing them for the first time.
Well, and that was going to be my next question, is if the guys that were dressed up were actually your bandmates, your band, and because they're playing in the video, and I thought, okay, I wonder how he convinced them that this is what they were going to do. Man, how much, I bet you were indebted for life now, right?
Wow, that's what I was saying at the show the other night. I was just joking around, but I said, yeah, it was actually my real band in the video, so I'm currently looking for a new band. But no, they were great. They agreed to do it, and I told them it's going to be pretty different, but I think it's going to resonate with people, and I think they'll really love it. And so so we got the costumes, and we went out. That cabin is a cabin I built when I was younger, in the first few shots, and we went out, and it's basically where I grew up. And we shot for a day there, and then we came back to Saskatoon and filmed at one of the local bars for one day as well. And we got a bunch of extras from Saskatoon here, and we made it happen, and it just turned out awesome. And I can't thank the crew and the all the people who came out to be extras in the video and the band enough.
Well, and I've talked to many artists about shooting videos and how different that is from being in the studio recording an album. And for this album, for this video in particular, it just because of the humor and the kind of tongue-in-cheek message there with the Bigfoot theme and everything, but it when you're filming, and especially something like this, was it highly distracting to film, to get through it, or was it just something that as it started, it just kind of all came together pretty flawlessly?
Well, it came together really well. Like, when we woke up, it was raining that day, and it was mostly an outdoor shoot, so we were a little concerned with, but because it was overcast, the lighting was perfect for filming, and it worked out, because when you get sun, sometimes it's harder to get the shots you need. So it just worked out, so everything lined up, and it just happened, and it quit raining for about 3-4 hours in the middle of the day, and that's the kind of those couple scenes where they tie me to the pole and they're carrying me on their shoulders. We could only do one take on that because it was just too hard. They had to wear those big feet. Yeah. And so it was just two. They said, all we're doing with this is one take because that's all we can, that's all we can do. So we did. But it just, I built those instruments out of blocks of wood that the drums are, the instruments from in the bush. And the guitar, I just found that in a wood pile, and the bass guitar, it all came together so awesome. And it's funny, lately things have just been coming together really well, and it's great when that can happen.
Yeah, and the only other thing I'll say about that video is that it's great that the weather, you didn't have full sun, because you do know that Bigfoot does not show his face in full sunlight. It's got to be overcast, or it's not a deal. It doesn't happen. Yeah. Totally teasing. Exactly. But well, what's coming up? I know you've had a great big summer so far, but what can we look forward to as you kind of wind down summer and move into fall? What's coming next?
Well, the video just came out, so there's going to be a contest coming up right away, and that's going to be on a Facebook contest. It's going to be running probably within 24 hours from now. And then we got lots of shows coming up. We're going to be all over the map. We're going to be out in Ontario. We're going to be, like I said, we're going to be coming up to Kansas for that show, and then back to Canada for a bunch more shows. And I'm hoping to get touring more in 2015 in the States. I'm looking at hopefully doing some more acoustic stuff and getting over there and meeting a bunch more of the fans off the Twitter party, and just lots of shows. And we're going to be, when we release another single, we'll be shooting another video for sure, and that'll be probably within 2 months from now. So there's lots of stuff happening, lots of stuff coming up, and it's just, we almost got the tour ready. We're building some staging right now. All the new merchandise is being built. There is already some brand new merchandise on CodiePrevost.com, and there's going to be all kinds of crazy merchandise coming out right away. So lots of things happening, but it's all great.
Well, it certainly sounds like it, and I tell you, I'm so excited for your success and all the response that, the folks in the States here have given you, because you definitely are an artist that needs to be among the best here. I mean, you really are talented, and your music is absolutely wonderful. It's some of my favorite out there right now, and I love it because it's kind of a departure from what we typically hear in the States in country music, and I love that because it's just unique. It's great, and it has a definite place, and that's one of the things I love about country music, because it's really it's given artists a lot of latitude to be able to be as creative as they want, whether it's filming Bigfoot videos or doing a video about domestic violence, as you have done. You have demonstrated just how vast and creative, the sky is the limit, and how it can be done, and still, get the message out of your music, which I think is phenomenal.
Well, thank you, Donna. I really appreciate your kind words. I've been an independent artist, throughout my whole career so far, and part of that is just coming up with new creative things to be able to stand out, and so I really do thank you for those kind words, because as an indie artist, that's kind of what it's all about, is doing something different and trying to stand apart from the group.
And I don't know how it gets any more different than taking a picture with elephants behind you and making videos that have a humorous theme. I mean, I'm saying that kind of in jest, but I'm also very serious in that you've kind of hit the nail on the head in terms of and demonstrated very well what indie artists are able to do when you're not signed to a major record label. It has its advantages, and so now with social media being what it is, and you're able to connect and do some things utilizing social media that probably 10, 15 years ago it could have never been done. So it's a great way to get your music out there and to really promote what you're doing, and fans really love it. And so I tell you, I can't wait to see what's coming next for you, and we will certainly do all we can here to help get your music out and to make sure the right folks who are promoting some of these unsigned country artists that are the next rising stars of country music here in the States, let them know you're coming.
Well, thank you very much,
because we really do believe in what you're doing. So if we can help you, let us know. Well,
thank you. I do appreciate that, and I've been so blessed to be able to do music and to have my dream job and be able to make a living at it, and that enables me to travel around and just keep doing it. So thank you to you and all the fans and everybody for all the support.
Well, thank you, Codie, and we want to wish you well as you continue to go forward, and would love to have you back anytime to talk about any new projects you have coming out. And, of course, we will continue to promote and support you as you go along.
Thank you, Dawn. Looking forward to it. And if anyone wants to see the videos or to stay in touch, there's the Facebook. It's just Codie Prevost Music. There's the Twitter @Codie Prevost, and then there's the YouTube channel and my official website, CodiePrevost.com as well, where you can find all the information on there.
Perfect. And before we wrap up, we're going to play a couple cuts off of the latest album. So thank you so much for being our special guest this evening. We greatly appreciate it.
Thank you, Dawn. Take care.
Take care. It has been wonderful speaking with Codie Prevost over the last 30 minutes or so. He is outstanding, and I tell you, if you've never had an opportunity to hear any of his music, you're going to get that chance in just a few minutes. But again, as he said, you can find him at Codie Prevost Music on Twitter and on Facebook. Go follow him, like his Facebook page, go subscribe to his YouTube channel. And I have to tell you, if the brand new video for his song All Kinds of Crazy, you've got to go see it. I mean, when we're done here, go to YouTube, look for it, search it, or you can go to his website. It's on his website now as well. It will make your day. If you've had a really bad Monday, believe me, this will turn things around. It was hilarious when I saw it the first time. And it's one you'll watch again and again. It's that much fun. So, again, we want to thank Codie Prevost for being our special guest. And before we wrap tonight, we're going to play some cuts off of his latest album, All Kinds of Crazy. We'll begin with All Kinds of Crazy, the title track, followed by I'll Be Your Whiskey and Last Night All Day. And we will close with his signature song that I absolutely love, Someday. And again, thanks to Codie, and many thanks to all of you for being here this evening. For Rockin' Country Radio, I'm your host, DJ Delta Dawn. We'll be back here again tomorrow night, 7:30 p.m. Eastern, same time, same place. Have a great night all, and we'll see you again soon. Good night.
When my doorbell rang at 2 a.m., I knew he broke your heart again, and I'm getting tired of seeing you cry. The fifth of Jack there in your hand says you need a drink, a friend again, but I got something better this time. Baby, come on over here, let me dry those tears. I can take your pain away tonight. your whiskey. Lay that bottle down and just kiss me. If you're looking to forget them completely, baby, I'd love to be the one to get you tipsy. I'll be your whiskey. Whiskey wears off awful quick, it's just a temporary fix that leaves you feeling worse than before. But my love doesn't work that way. It might age, but it won't fade. And you knew that when you walked through my door. Baby, come on over here. I can make him disappear for tonight and the rest of your life. I'll be your whiskey. Lay that bottle down and just kiss me. If you're looking to forget them completely, baby, I'd love to be the one to get you tipsy. I'll be your whiskey. Believe me, baby, I'd love to be the one to get you tipsy. I'll be your whiskey. I'll be your whiskey. Just sitting here watching that clock tick tocking the hours away. At the rate I'm going, I'm probably gonna get fired. Yeah, but I don't care, 'cause I'm not really here anyway. It's like I'm out of my body and going out of my mind. I've been thinking about last night all day. I got work to do, but because of you I can't think straight. You're killing me, baby. So what do you say we just get back together and pick right up where we left off? Yeah, I've been thinking about last night all day long. First thing this morning, I woke up dreaming about you and me. 14 hours feels like forever ago. Yes, it does. That love we were making, well, it's still taking control of me. I had to call you up just to let you know. I've been thinking about last night, oh, all day. I got work to do, but because of you I can't think straight. You're killing me, baby. So what do you say we just get back together and pick right up like an ocean wave, hoping just to reach the shore, praying for the light of day to find your way out of this storm. You've been tossed about, lost and found, lifted up just to be let down. But someday love is gonna take you in its arms, hold you, heal your wounded heart, and your faith is finally gonna lead you through the dark. You'll find everything in time, I swear. It'll be okay. Hope you know you're on your way to someday. Love has been a painful word, for what you give and don't get back. But when you get what you deserve, you'll forever drown your past. And the sun will shine, light up your life. It's hard to believe it now, but someday love is gonna take you in its arms, hold you, heal your wounded heart, and your faith is finally gonna lead you through the dark. You'll find everything in time, I swear. It'll be okay. Hope you know you're on your way to someday our love is gonna take you in its arms, hold you, heal your wounded heart, and your faith is finally gonna lead you through the dark. You'll find everything in time, I swear. It'll be okay. Hope you know you're on your way to someday. Someday love is gonna take you in its arms.
Check out Rockin' Country Radio on the web. Find us at rockincountryradio.com, on Twitter at rockin_CTRY, and on Facebook at Rockin' Country Radio.